Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Domenico, and today we're going to be discussing a little topic of how to become a millionaire by age 30. Now, there are multiple ways to become a millionaire. You can just save that money all by yourself, or you can invest your money to help you become a millionaire by that age. Now, becoming a millionaire by age 30 is no easy feat. Of course, people aspire to become a millionaire by the time they retire. Now, becoming a millionaire by age 30 is somewhat of a risky endeavor because you're going to have to take on at least some risk to become a millionaire by that age, unless you start an extremely profitable business, and you're going to have to live kind of frugally during that time because saving that kind of money at that age isn't all that easy. So you're going to have to be saving a lot and spending very little. So the first way you usually think of becoming a millionaire is by retirement age. Now, let's say you start investing at 20 years old and you save $10 a day, that's $300 a month, and you just put it in an index fund. So basically you're living well within your means and you're just saving an extra $10 a day, which isn't too much to many people, even at a young age. Now, $300 a month, that's 7% return per year, which is the average return for an index fund over that period of time. In 45 years, you will have a net worth of over $1 million. Now, about 900,000 of that comes from interest. That means only 161,000 approximately comes from your own money. The rest of it is all accumulated interest in your account. So if you look at this example here, the majority of your money is coming from interest, and that's because of compound interest. Now, compound interest works over a long period of time, that you're getting more money from interest than you're actually putting in yourself. And that's a very, very important aspect of investing. However, if we're talking about becoming a millionaire by age 30, you won't have a lot of this time, okay? So this time aspect is going to be very constrained. So then you have to think about, okay, well, what if I just want to save it in a savings account? Now, the average savings account nowadays gives about a 0.1% interest rate. This is a very average savings account. It's not a high interest savings account. Just a normal savings account gives about a 0.1 interest rate. This is extremely low. If you want to be a millionaire starting at age 18 and just putting money in a checking account, or a savings account rather, you would have to save $7,000 a month to have $1 million net worth by age 30. Now, as you can see here in this example, only $6,000 of this million comes from interest. This means that the majority of this $1 million was put in through your own money. Now, of course, this is very difficult. $7,000 a month is unrealistic, even for people in the prime of their lives. Now, if you're thinking about an 18-year-old putting $7,000 a month aside, is very, very unrealistic. So this scenario is practically impossible. Unless you're starting a completely revolutionary business, it's unlikely to make this kind of money at this young of an age. So you want to turn to something more profitable. Well, you're going to have to turn to something like an index fund. Well, with an index fund, starting at age 18, if you put in $5,000 a month at a 7% interest rate, you will have a $1.1 million net worth by age 30. Now, out of this 1.1 million, 387,000 come from interest. Okay, so clearly a lot more comes from interest than in a savings account, that's for sure. And you're going to have to put $2,000 a month less. But you're still putting in $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year just towards savings. This is apart from your regular expenses, and this is post taxes. So you're going to have to pay taxes. So to be putting away this kind of money, you're going to have to make about $100,000 a year. This is also unrealistic for the general population. For 99.9% of the population, you won't be able to put aside $60,000 net every single year. However, this is a possibility if you want to become a millionaire by age 30. The next way is towards becoming a stock picker yourself. Now, this is the most realistic scenario for the general population. By starting at age 18 and putting aside $2,700 a month at a 15% return, which is generally not too difficult to achieve, although it's not easy, it's very possible to achieve when you're an individual stock picker, because you're always going to have to be compensated for your time. So if you're putting money into an index fund and you're expecting to get a 7% return, anything less than a 10% return is not even worth your time, really, in stock market investing. So Generally, if you're getting a 15% return, you are doing very well for yourself. So assuming that you do get this 15% return for the next 12 years, again, you're starting at 18 years old, putting $2,700 a month aside, you will have a net worth of just over $1 million. Now, in this example, over 600,000 of this 1 million is coming from interest. So you just put in under $400,000 of your own money. Now, this means that the majority of the money you have accumulated is not coming from your own investment, but rather the returns of those investments themselves. Now, for the general population, this takes some time, okay? So investing in the stock market isn't all that easy. You're going to have to put a lot of time into it, a lot of effort, and it's a continuous struggle, really. And you're never really done investing. Throughout these entire 12 years, you'll have to be researching new companies, finding new investment opportunities, and really still having to make those $2,700 a month after taxes and after all expenses. So again, usually when you're around 18 years old, you don't have that many expenses in general, so it's a lot easier to save money. Whereas as you get older, although you're making more money likely, you will have a lot more expenses that you'll have to pay for generally. So this is the case if you're starting at 18 years old with no initial investment, meaning you start at zero and you have to save this $1 million in 12 years without any initial money. You're starting at zero. Now, let's assume that you started working before the age of 18 and you were able to save up a little bit of money by then. So let's say you started working at about 14, 15, 16 years old and you were able to save about $15,000 through that time by little jobs here and there, maybe dabbling in a little bit of buying and selling of things. Usually when you have an entrepreneurial spirit, you start at a very young age. So assuming that you were able to save up about $15,000 by age 18, if you invest $2,500 a month at a 15% return over the next 12 years, you will be a millionaire. And in this example, $633,000 comes from interest. Now, what is the moral of the story here? Well, a lot of people believe that to become a millionaire, you have to save $1 million on its own. You have to actually save $1 million. A lot of people with a normal income would not be able to save $1 million without any investment returns. This is very difficult to do because compound interest is really what makes people very wealthy over the long term. Now, here we're talking about over a 12 years period. However, this is very important over 30, 40, 50 years even, because if you're starting to invest at 18, you have a very long time horizon. Even 50 years is very conceivable because you'll only be 68 years old. And at 68 years old, that's basically where you're going to want to retire. So, I mean, this isn't 12 years, and obviously the compound returns really start after these 12 years. It really starts when you get into the 20, 30, 40 year, 50 year time period. So, as you can see here, if you're trying to save in a savings account, it's very unlikely you will be a millionaire by age 30. It's practically impossible, really. $7,000 a month is generally inconceivable for 99.99% of the population, including older folks. However, if you invest in an index fund for 12 years, you're going to have to save $5,000 a month. It's a lot more doable, but still inconceivable for the majority of the population at this particular age. However, if you do become a stock picker, although it's a lot more work you're going to have to put into it, it's a lot more possible to become a millionaire by age 30. Really, if you're starting with zero, it's still possible, but the more money you start with at age 18, the more doable it really is. Again, if you're an entrepreneur, really at 18 years old, it shouldn't be that inconceivable to have some amount of money saved already from little businesses you start here and there, from little part-time jobs here and there as well. Having $15,000 saved by age 18 is not inconceivable at all. And $2,500 a month really is nothing short of difficult. However, it's very doable. And if you do work at it and if you are persistent at it, it is very possible. So the moral of this story is it's practically impossible to become a millionaire by age 30 without investing. You're going to have to invest, and you're going to have to learn how to invest to do this, how to learn to do this profitably, basically. So if you guys are interested in becoming a millionaire by age 30, this is definitely my goal. But if you guys are also interested in taking this journey and starting at a young age, starting investing at a young age for your future. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and share it to other people who might find this video very useful, and in opening your eyes really to how important investing is when trying to set up your life for the future. So you might have to be a little more frugal. You might have to make a little more sacrifices now at a younger age through these 12 years. However, it's definitely going to pay off in the long term. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it brought some attention to how important investing is in your lives. And I hope I see you in my next video. But apart from that, have a great rest of your day.